before I let you all go, I know we just finished up our new moon messages, so we're going to conclude with a little bit more on that lovely secure attachment person. So, in the lovely world, we have a lot of stuff going on. And what is a consistency that people look for besides spirituality for our 5D mystic community? Anybody who understands that any, let's see, yoga, tarot, life coaching, mindfulness coaching, consulting, right? There's a big boom in a lot of different online voices, but also in a lot of different people looking to support each other, which is positive. The part about what we see with the extreme individuals, well, that's something to me not shocking, because when I was a teenager, seeing insecure people was equally as exemplary as what I see with these voices. Okay, fancy man and woman in suits make me think of those who were the popular kids, but they weren't really the best examples. And in fact, then once they grew up, it was like the adults said that the majority of them had a bunch of things happen. So, good psychology, good therapy, they all talk about, getting beyond the perfectionist and how hard it can be for people who have this insecure stuff. And again, when I notice that the spiritual bypassers and mantles of mental health are out there, it's not hard to understand since all of the smart therapists explain what lack of self-awareness is, which is what I've consistently seen with Cuscos and squirrels. Okay, so 44, nothing's changed really from when I was a teenager, except for one thing. I have more information that helps me to know how I shared with God there was no evil, there's human suffering, is because it was clear to me as a feminine is the word I use for when I want you to understand as a mystic. I'm a feminine of my oversoul, but as a human being who has healthy self-worth, because see, you're feminine, you have it too. It's your body with your heart, but you don't access it unless you have a relationship with the depths of your emotional plane, which is, again, part of your mammalian heritage. The fact of why people don't want to cry, for example, good data points from, again, the lovely mental health professionals is that one of them, I forget if they're evolutionary psychologists or existentialists, but they were saying how, if you sit in a fetal position and cry, you're going to get eaten by a lion, a bear. So there's plenty of different ways that we could ground in emotions with our ancestors and human evolution, which doesn't make it a less interesting story. Actually, it makes it more interesting for the mindfully living. And so that's everyone who will be here at HP, because mindfully living means spiritually living, which means use your human name. It means you're grounded in the left and right mode brain. You put your left foot in, your right foot in. So it means you're a person who's grounded with sciences and spirituality in the absence of needing it to be a show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. So the people who need this superhero thing, it's one, a teenager attitude, but what I found out from, again, the smart therapist, it's pseudo-live people. And with the fear receptor going wonky and nightmares and trauma needing to be healed, as neuroscientists have taught me, and again, mental health professionals, is why I say the 4D body type and 3D body type. Well, if they got to a door with Pat Ogden, Peter Levine doesn't practice, but Pat Ogden is sensory motor. So somatics or sensory motor in the child parts work, and they take their inner child seriously and they get themselves to self-regulate. Great. If not, well, then they're going to keep on living what they have been living. And the part about what is most saddening to a person who is attachment trauma informed animistic is to realize that a good portion of people don't give a shit about their inner well-being because they'd rather act like superheroes. So they hear information. Well, I should be fair to say they're deaf, because their ears are not. The way Stephen Porges points out is that the body of yours, so if you're in a defense mechanism, the ears are down. This is like, I think this is a gesture he does. So you're only hearing certain things, but also you have a distorted self. So don't forget, your second year of life is when your left mode comes online. For my regular community, they listen, so they know these data points because I've been sharing them. If you're new, there you go. The second year of life, your left mode, which is the verbal. But for the first year of your whole life, the right mode is the only part of your brain online. So while some people want to say attachment theory is only one way of seeing things, and so again, anybody who's against what is a very beautiful, I think the word is consiliency. So the good therapists, they're bringing it all together, like Dr. Daniel Siegel with interpersonal neurobiology. And anybody who learns about interpersonal neurobiology with him, I'm learning too, as a person who cares to help you be yourself with mindfulness, to support you doing more of dealing with unknowns, uncertainties, and unwanteds from the depths of you with an open heart and going with the flow, which neuroscientists, as they say, not supernatural. But this is the part of where, when you see people explaining this to you, I've seen the enlightenment, others, they're like a flat lawn. So they're not embodying the fullness of them. Their spirituality soul age group is the best I can do to let you understand that those soul age groups, they matter for somebody like me, because I'll see the soul age group, I'll see they're a teenager version of themselves. Why? Because they're with battlefields, but also because the left mode, chit chat, or ego's working. But I don't see their inner child. I'm not looking at them and they're having a good time with life, like the Zen master with laundry. We all will have the depths of emotions come up. The point of what your free will is, even though Robert Sapolsky's point of determine is very valid, and that's why that inclination of the little choo-choo train to go over the hump, the only one who makes a difference is you, not me. With all the information, obviously, of the good scientists, I bring it to you, but that doesn't mean it's brought to you in the way that you would want or not want. So even if I brought it to you exactly the way you would want it to hear it, it's still getting over a hump, you see? And it's a hump that is, I can feel the depth of the profound of sadness, anger, surprise, disgust, happiness, fear, in the absence of judging it as good or bad, in the absence of saying, I want it my way. Okay, so in the absence of having this posture, which is a fight response, which is that 16-year-old, which is also, though, what people will feel instinctively when unfair has come into the mix, if you want, when something that you don't. So your body has an initial stance of reactivity, you learning to be non-reactive when it comes to mental and emotional external situations is your choice. And it's one that gives you a small reward. It's not a reward. You get to become emotionally resilient, mentally resilient. You choose to become an inner child adult, is what I'm going to bring to it. But that's exactly why it's involving your secondary human consciousness, and it doesn't matter how many data points and how differently people add it up. If you don't want to do it, you won't. And that fancy man and woman in suit don't want to do it. And that's just two of the people that are going to be there for the other ones who don't want to do it. And that's something that a person who's smart will understand, like me. So why being yourself, it's your choice if you want to, being able to access the depth of yourself too, and being an intimate, healthy partner. Well, yeah, there you go. Most people choose fear. It's called the unfaced fear of being able to be in one with relationships, an actual heart to heart, and put all that trauma stuff if they're not healing it. I mean, I see Tom and Jerry out in the open all the time. It's not fascinating to see what looks like teenager behavior, and then you hear experts talking about a bunch of different data points, but they're not even considering the secure attached inner child. So they're taking their angles. I'm bringing to the angle of your inner world has so much that it has to offer with you and with others, but if you don't take that leap and get over the hump like that Zen master doesn't, you don't learn mindfulness for real. You use the word, you're not mindfully living, and you're not spiritually living either. So Sadhguru, he gives us what it looks like to be a guru and to be completely restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating person. Difference is he brings a philosophy with it, even though it's not just a philosophy for those of us who do have a relationship with Akash, God, and that sphere, but that's a belief system, and that's not what necessarily needs to accompany you. When you do your yoga and mindfulness, it allows you to actually put your ventral vagal state into practice and to allow integration, which is what your brain is wanting to do in the first place. Because your biology, your entire body, the birthright of it is, at least according to these smart human beings, to be restorative. So you are going against your very own nature, meaning your human composite, the embodied brain with the nervous system, the way that those sciences explain it, when you resist learning to be non-reactive. But again, you can live an entire life with being reactive, the way the fancy lady and man in suit are. And that's where even the Zen master, because for a person who it's not reactive per se, but you don't learn how to use stress So whenever you get upset, you have the opportunity to pursue inner growth. That's why, as I said, it's not really a reward, but it's a step that you take for no other reason except for you can do it. And that's where you will figure out the difference once you get into the momentum of it. And with mysticism, for me, it's double the specialness, because I get to also have a relationship with my oversoul. I channel beyond the earth. It's beautiful. And so my life is full of meaning and connection with my loved ones, but also beyond. And here, all that moves will exhaust itself. Only that which is still is for always. Meditation is essentially to move towards the stillness, that stillness, to become like the core of existence, said Guru. So, stillness, he explains it this way. I'm going to explain it with, when you look up restorative embodiment, and then you be self-aware, accountable, and regulating, and you understand that those thoughts and emotions, they consistently arise, and that you create the emotional resiliency. It's like a muscle. So you're the one who gives yourself the safe haven, secure base opportunity by activating your ventral vagal state. This is the posture. And by using your prefrontal to talk about what's coming up and to feel it deeply, but to use the word, it's a sad, anger, whatever it is. I'm frustrated, I'm upset, I'm angry. And to then, with that depth, though, take it up to a actual person who cares. Number one, healthy self-soothing. Two, not do something that will numb it and suppress it. Three, not distract yourself or pretend like it's not there. And so you are allowing yourself to objectively think, feel, and not call it laundry, because you give meaning and take it away. You give weight and take it away. You get out of the limbic system and in your prefrontal cortex. So I get to bring to you all these things. And here's why, when you do have this capacity, I love to love, and I love to live, and I love to laugh, and I love to dance, I love to love. So anybody who doesn't want to do it is going to be humbug for those of us who know how to do it. And also, secure attachment is only that first step. Restorative embodiment self, only that first step. So being aware, accountable, and regulating in this way, it's your choice. You will get more bliss, more delight, and expand. From a mystic perspective, it's just beautiful. But I've always known this. My embodiment is with healthy self-worth, integrated brain. But I do see those who don't have this, how easy it is for them to continue doing what they are with Squirrel and Cusco and all that. So avoiding actually being able to bring forth more of their self, because they'd rather wear a fancy suit and basically say, I'm a superhero. So to me, it's sad. To them, they're living the highlight of their life. And it's sad to me, because pseudo-aliveness doesn't look pretty when you're noticing it, and then when you're realizing that they have more to offer than just that, and that with their clairs. So any person who doesn't move into the 5D frequency, learning how to use their brain, integrate it, and learn to be restorative, to me, they're missing out on something called the depth of their core, depth of their self, bringing all of their child parts home. But it isn't something that has a reward per se. No, it's you being able to be deeply aware that you have 24 hours, and that's pretty much why anyone who's not securely attached, at least from what I heard, these coaches, they call secure attachment boring. That's because there's no visceral activity. I'm going to let you know it's not boring. It's only boring to them because they think that feeling, that low frequency, is something exciting. They don't know how to sit in the depths of silence, which is not silence. I'm the essence of love in life. I'm empowered by unconditional love. So when I'm frustrated, I'm sitting with grace around me, if you will, because I can say it's okay. I'm upset. And it's not a small thing. It's a very beautiful thing, because the reality is, like any of those who know about our secondary consciousness, you have it and I have it. You are awakened to the fact that you live and you die, and that's it. There's death in life. So you take it and give it. And being able to do bliss and delight is one of those, two of those paths to enlightenment. The Zen master has loss and pain, so he does rumination. He uses temporal junction if he's upset. So he's using a distressed nervous system, versus I can be upset and use a eustress. And these are words to Dr. Daniel Siegel introduced me to eustress, because with my panic attacks, obviously, that's not comfortable. But because I'm able to be mindfully aware and spiritually aware, and then I did all of stuff that we just discussed, if you will, It's Maria's Maria. It happens. Okay, we're moving into the next hump. That's it. Not a big deal, not a small deal. It's a enriching depth of experience, yes, because I feel good, even if I'm uncomfortable. And then I get to say, does it have meaning or not? That doesn't matter. I get to smile and move into another day. Oh, and my body's thankful though, because eustress means that I don't have distress, which means that in my ventral vagal state, it is actually in its ease, in its stillness, which is why Sadhguru gives you yoga, meditation, spirituality. Dr. Daniel Siegel, Daniel Fox, Bezel van der Kolk, Stephen Porges, Julian Fisher, Peter Levine, Pat Ogden, Patrick Tiahan, Patrick McNamara, Stephen Porges, there's so many other names. These two sides of a coin get me to share with you why I have a joyride as a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group being myself, and why you can. However, that Zen master lets us know that he still has laundry. And that's where also the fancy lady and man in suit, and they bring to you also stories, you know what I mean? So inherently, the share is life partnership, and just people in general in this lovely era get to understand what embodying the wholeness of them is in love, and then to bring it to each other. And it's not because of it being less special. No, it's really special, in my personal opinion, though. Tapping into your infinite higher human conscious potential. So we'll be back with more. I hope you're having a great new moon and that Halloween was fun. And like I was saying, it's your choice to be yourself with flaws, integrity, and to know, yeah, life doesn't always hand you something that you're going to expect. That's common sense. But you get to choose how you transform it. And that's all the time, because if you're healthy and you have loved ones and you've chosen to be a part of the herd, you're going to know why this is important. 24 hours, all you got. You're going to make the best of it, and you're going to cultivate intelligent perspectives and intimate, loving relationships with your one-to-one, whether you're polyamory or monoamory, romantically speaking, and also the expanded friends, family, people that are part of your herd. And you'll know who those people are, because they will consistently want to be in a relationship with you, knowing what's going on, and vice versa. It is not through silence that people become intimate. It is through consistent, contingent communication. Yes, we have silent moments. Of course, anyone, 24 hours, you're busy. I'm saying you build over time a consistency of involving each other. Those are intimate relationships. So we create secure connections, secure attachment relationships. Healthy others are here at 5D because we get to be ourselves with integrity and flaws and unconditional love. And I love to love, and I love to dance, and you love to live, and you love to laugh. And we all love to be also that groovy kind of love. When I'm sad and blue, all I have to do is take a look at you. Then I'm not so blue. And that's how we do it. A jaguar. So the embodied feminine is safe haven, secure base. Once you're able to do this bliss delight, you bring it into a room. Anyone who wants to do the same. And that's why it does matter from every one of us, with our family to then the earth to then beyond. And well, the 4D, 3D frequency people, this is where the good news is that once they've made their conscious choice points to not want to move into 5D, they will be armored shut in, so we won't be perceiving them. Uno. Two, unfortunately for them, they don't realize what's going to happen. I'm not going to bother, because really it's none of my business. But three, it's not important, because their ego is ruling them, and we're not here to affect states of consciousness. That's where this is how you do it. Mind your own business. Be humble. We get to be Pachas. Pacha don't lecture Cusco's teenagers. You'll know when you have one in the room. Excuse me. You're confusing science and spirituality. Excuse me. You. Am I not decent enough to be looked at? Excuse me. How dare you? You didn't think about my feelings. Huh. How dare you? Okay, so remember. Wedding bells. Yeah, no, not really. Oh, and why they won't text you back, so we won't do all that. But anyways, you get the drift. So come and join us, like, share, and subscribe. If you know people who want to be actual badasses, let them come on over, because badass is all about love and life and laughter. And yes, we know what's going on out there in the world. That's why we need smart people. Stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. It's integrated brains that are smart, because you're using here Zen master don't know how to use here. He's not trying hard enough. Try Zen master. Be the little choo-choo train. He made it over the hump. What's up with you, Zen master? So enlightenment is a fun soul age group to be in. I'll be back with more for you all. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great one.